येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुः श्रीयुतः पदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमा ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमती भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार श्रीवास आदि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। So this is a special month going on known as, what's the name? Purushottam month. What are some other names of this month? Adhik month or Adhik Maas. Any other names you know? Huh? Malamas, yes, that's what I was expecting. So what is Mala? It's very inauspicious, something that nobody wants. Okay, we children call it poop. So it's the most considered to be the most inauspicious month. So is that what we have heard? That is the most inauspicious month? No. So I wanted to discuss this topic. So this Adhik Maas is the most auspicious month. There are two vidhis, Smarta Vidhi and Bhagavat Vidhi. So I will discuss that, but we consider Adhik Maas to be the most auspicious month, even more auspicious than Kartik month. The most auspicious month. So this started on 18th of July this year and will go on till about 16th of August. So we still have about 17, 18 days left in this month. So how can we make the best use of this month is what I wanted to discuss. Some of the glories of this month, how it got its name, what is the significance of this month, and how to make the best use of this month. So, yeah, I'm a little disorganized right now, but anyway. So where were we? So yeah, this is the most, it's also another name is called Chora Maas. Chora means the thief among all the months. So again, not a very auspicious name. So according to the Vedic Vidhi, what is known as the Smarta Vidhi, this is not the most auspicious month. In fact, it is the most inauspicious. Nothing happens in this month. There are no festivals, no anything. It's the most dry month possible. Why? Because we want festivals every year. They are annual things. Birthday like Janmashtami, Ram Navami, they are all appearance days of the Lord, right? Do they appear every year, or anybody here born on 29th February? No? Anybody who knows anybody who was born on 29th February? Okay. So how often does he celebrate his birthday? How often does he celebrate his birthday?
We celebrated it every year on the 28th, and whenever the 29th came along, we celebrated it then.
More special, huh? On every 4 years, yeah. So you can't celebrate anything, if it's in Adhik Maas, because it would appear or it would come only in once in 3 years. So nobody does any marriages, doesn't buy a new house, doesn't start a new business, doesn't start anything auspicious which you might want to celebrate year over year, every year in this month, because then you would only get to celebrate it every 3 years. So I will explain what is this 3-year thing as well. So it is considered from the Vedic Vidhi or from the Smarta Vidhi, inauspicious kind of good for nothing month. But Vaishnavas from the Bhagavat Vidhi consider it the most auspicious month. Why is this the case? This is the case because, and I will, if time permits, will go into the story as well, that Lord Krishna, every day we perform our daily activities of bhakti. We do our reading, we do our chanting, we do all of that. But human nature is such that we always want something extra, isn't it? Some extra has to be there. Then we get some extra, then it's good. So, if you go to a store, you want some extra discount. Whatever the price tag is, you have already done your comparison. Okay, here is the cheapest price. But that's not good enough. You still want to bargain for, okay, give me some discount. So the storekeepers also, they mark it up and then they tell you, okay, this much discount we'll give you. So like that, we always feel some happiness when we get something extra. So the Lord also gave us an extra month. Every 3 years, he gives an extra month. Okay, in this month you do more seva, more devotional service. Then the devotees feel very happy. Okay, this extra month I will use more nicely than, you want to do more, you want to stretch yourself. Otherwise it becomes whatever we are doing becomes the normal routine. So Lord Krishna has given us this extra month. And it's like a, vacation time, we are all enjoying on weekends and all that. Company employers give weekends to enjoy, right? Saturday, Sunday, 5-day week. Why do we get vacation time? Okay, you are getting 2 days every week, so why do you need vacation time? That's extra, it's Adhik. It's something extra. So we feel happy on receiving something extra, right? And in that whole week, we don't do any work. Even sometimes some people, work on the weekends. But when you're on vacation, no work. Some people work on vacation also. So that's the unfortunate situation. But the purpose is exclusively to immerse in the activity for which it is meant. So Adhik Maas is exclusively meant to immerse in our activities of bhakti. So, how sort of this came about from an astrological or an astronomical reason that our Vedic Vidhi follows the lunar calendar, right? But the seasons are according to the sun or the moon? The sun, the solar calendar, because the earth goes around the sun and, the seasons are based on that. So all our festivals, all our celebrations and everything are, the seasons are based on seasons. Like Deepavali festival usually comes in the beginning of winter season. Ram Navami comes at the ending of winter season, beginning of spring season, kind of. And Krishna Janmashtami usually comes in the rainy season. That is why the Yamuna was flooded when Lord Krishna was born and Vasudevji had to take Lord Krishna across the river. So it is this year also, it was flooded so much, there were boats going around the streets of Vrindavan. So, Krishna Janmashtami. Now, due to Adhik Maas this year, Janmashtami is little late. Otherwise, Janmashtami would have been sometime, in August. Now it is in around Labor Day in September, because this Adhik Maas got sort of injected in between. So all these things, so the festivals, we don't want Janmashtami to occur like, in the peak of winter season or something like that. So all those happen by solar calendar, but also Janma Ashtami. Ashtami means 8th day of the moon. So all these are according to the lunar calendar, the tithis, the dates, or the auspicious dates, they are calculated based on the lunar calendar. And astronomically speaking, the moon month is 28 days. 14 days plus 14 days of, waxing and waning moon, that only makes up 28 days or 29 days. So like that, every year we get about 11-day difference between the sun's revolution around the earth and 12 revolutions of the moon around the earth. What did I say? Sun's revolution around the earth? Sorry, other way around. Earth's revolution around the sun. So, so it takes 1 year, solar year, but then the moon loses about 11 days of time if you count 12 revolutions of the moon around the earth. So like that, the moon is a little slow in its movement. And so over a period of 3 years, there is an adjustment that needs to be done. So about 32 days are accumulated over a period of 3 years, and that becomes a new month that is inserted into the moon to catch up to the sun. Are you following? To give time to the moon to catch up to the sun. So our Rasika Acharyas give a very nice explanation here. Okay, that the moon, who is born in the moon dynasty? Krishna. And who is born in the sun dynasty? Rama. So one time they both start, walking together. So Ramji, is straight, he doesn't care about left and right. He's just walking straight. So he is walking straight. So he continues to walk and he is covering the distance. Lord Krishna also starts walking, but, on the side he meets some gopi or gopa, so he waits and talks. And then he's like going in a meandering way. He doesn't walk straight, right? Then some cows are there. It is in fact said, see, what is the purpose of a cowherd boy? He's a cowherd boy, Gwala. What is the purpose of cowherd boy is to herd the cows. What do you mean herding the cows? Hey, chalo, 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 chalo. You take a stick and, you make the cows go, to the grazing field so that they don't, spend all day just, going astray, and then it will be night time. But what happened, it is said, is that the cows used to walk whatever, but Krishna was slower than the cows. And then he would be left behind and the cows had to wait for Krishna to catch up. And then he would blame the cows that these cows are like, just to, or he would make up some story, they would go here and there and I have to go find them. Whereas he would go, into some streets of Vrindavan to talk to some gopi or gopa or something, and he would blame it on the cows that the cow went that way, so I had to go catch him. So that way, all these activities slows Krishna down. Okay, so then Lord Ram looks back and sees, where is Krishna? We were walking together, so he has to stop. He has to wait. He has to give time to Krishna to catch up. And then Krishna catches up, and then again, he gets slowed down and like that. So that is the significance of, or that is the sort of the reason of introducing this extra time. Every 3 years, Lord Krishna needs 1 month to catch up to Lord Ram in his, going around the various places. Anyway, so I explained the astronomical reason and the reason that the devotees like to relish. So, like this, it is going on, and yeah. So that is why the Adhik Maas exists, to allow the moon to catch up to the sun, and all the festivals and everything occur in their proper seasons, and we all are able to relish all our activities in the proper way. So, how did this process start, or how did the Adhik Maas get its name as Purushottam Maas? So, the name, as I was saying earlier, is Adhik Maas because it is extra. Extra means, like in movies, have you heard the word extras? He's an extra. Do they get any? The main limelight is all, taken by the actors, the main actors, the lead actors. Extras are just there for, filling up the rest of the space. So that is the situation of Adhik Maas. It's just a filler. Okay, you need some time to catch up. Everybody is frustrated that this fellow is slow. So they are just waiting and, twiddling thumbs. No useful activity is happening in that period. So that is this Smarta Vidhi, according to the Vedic understanding. It is the most inauspicious, most useless, good for nothing extra month. So what happened? So every entity in existence has a presiding deity. Adhimas is the presiding deity. She is a female who is the presiding deity of this Adhik Maas. Yeah, so just a quick sort of a background on this. What happened, how this story was narrated. It is mentioned in the Brihad Naradiya Purana. One time, Lord Shri Krishna visited the Pandavas when they were in exile. Pandavas were in exile for 13 years because of all the injustice by Duryodhan. So they were in a very, very destitute condition. Even though they were the Pandavas, but because they were living in the forest, they were in a very, very destitute condition with very, even worse than a forest dweller. They were kings who were not used to live in the forest. And they had their mother and their wife and, very, very destitute condition they were living in the forest. Matted hair, no proper clothes, just very, very destitute. So Lord Krishna, when he visited them, he saw their condition and he got very angry at Duryodhan. That, and Lord Krishna's mood is that, if you do something bad to me, it's okay. But Lord doesn't tolerate any injustice to his devotees. And so much injustice happened. Lord Krishna was obviously witness to it. But again, this is again part of Leela. Lord knows already, he didn't have to visit to find out. But when he visited, his heart was burning. And he immediately summoned, or almost summoned, his Sudarshan Chakra. I will burn up, I will kill the head of Duryodhan, I will sever his head. Not only that, I will finish the entire dynasty of Kauravas. Not only that, I will just finish the whole of Hastinapur. I will burn up all of Hastinapur with my Sudarshan Chakra. So Arjun saw where this was going. Next step would have been that I will just burn up the whole universe. The Lord was really, really mad, really mad. So Arjuna fell at the feet of Lord Krishna and said that, please, 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 stop. Don't, get so angry. We are doing fine. And then he said some very nice verses. One of the things that I liked was where he said is that, in the house, if there is a mosquito, right, and he's troubling you, you don't burn up the whole house to kill the mosquito, do you? So please don't, burn up the whole universe just for one bad guy. There are some very nice people also in Hastinapur, like Vidurji, Bhishma and all. There are nice people as well. So please, tell us some other way of, tolerating and making progress and in our life. Don't destroy the whole world. Tell us some other way. So like that, Arjun was praying to Lord Krishna, and then Lord Krishna said that I will tell you something very confidential of how you can be happy. And Adhik Mas was approaching at that time. It was going to start. This extra month was going to start at that time of the year. So at that time, Lord Krishna revealed the confidential glories of this extra month known as Adhik Mas. And in the Brihad Naradiya Puran, it is mentioned that, and I wanted to quote one of this verse from Srimad Bhagavatam, which is very similar, that when to his dearmost disciple, the Lord or the Guru or the Lord reveals very confidential things. So the Lord is not, we were discussing yesterday, that the Lord is sammoham sarva bhuteshu. He is equal to everyone, but to his special devotees or those who are very dear to him, he is definitely partial. He does reveal very confidential things. He gives special mercy, special blessings, special protection to his devotees. Name bhakta pranashyati. Bhakta, not sarva bhuteshu na pranashyati. He didn't say that nobody will be destroyed. No. Me bhakta na pranashyati. So there is this very beautiful verse in the Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, first chapter, 8th verse, where Shaunakadi rishis are requesting Suta Goswami to reveal the confidential messages that are embedded or present in the heart, deep in the heart of Suta Goswami. And they are saying, we are very dear to you, you are very dear to us, so please reveal the inner confidential message. Here he says, it's a very beautiful verse, Vetatvam saumya tat sarvam tatvatas tad anugrahat bruyuh snigdhasya shishyasya gurovo guhyamam apyot. So the meaning is that Shaunakadi Rishi are saying, Vetatvam saumya tat sarvam, that you know all the tattva of all the scriptures, sarvam, tat sarvam, means of all the scriptures, you know the essence, the tattvam. And you have received it, tattvatas tad anugrahat, from your seniors, those whom you are following, your spiritual masters, tad anugrahat, by being very close disciple, very sweet disciple of your gurus, you have received that confidential message. Bruyuh snigdhasya shishyasya. Now bruyuh means please tell to your snigdha shishya, to your dear disciples, to your close disciples. Guravo guhyamam apyayut, all these confidential messages that you have received from your Guru Janas. So, when one, if you want to receive the sort of the confidential message, the confidential parts of the learning from anyone, you have to first become dear to him. You have to first become snigdha. Snigdha means close, relationship-wise, close to them. And then, general instruction is always available, but that innermost instruction is available to close people, to who are very close. And how do you become close? How do you become close? To a guru. Shri Shri Nitai Satchidanand Dev Bhagwan ki jai. By serving them, yes. Serving them how? Loading them with lot of money? Yeah? Seva, but what kind of seva? By asking questions? Yes, service, but what kind of service is the question? Sevaye. Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaye or sevate. So, what kind of seva though? Following his instructions, yes. But how do you get to know, or how do you get them to reveal their instructions or what seva they would need? They may not say, they'll say, I don't need any seva. So, as I have understood, the first thing is to get close to them. So the first thing is to become close. Become close means understanding their mood, where they are coming from. They may not tell, but you got to understand their priorities. What are their priorities? What do they like, don't like, etc., etc. And the second thing is to understand what is their mood in their bhajan. Because these gurus who we are talking about are not just some floating Tom, Dick, Harry, some normal people. They are very, very advanced devotees. So we must get close to them and understand the mood of their bhajan. Because for them, obviously, bhajan is topmost. If bhajan is not topmost for them, then we are, mistaken in the first place. They are not a very topmost Vaishnava. So bhajan for a topmost Vaishnava is always the topmost priority. And then we need to serve them with things that assist them in their bhajan. What will assist them in their bhajan? The straightforward answer may not be money or a big plate of prasadam or a fancy, some luxurious item, latest iPhone or whatever latest MacBook. May be or may not be. So we have to understand their mood of their bhajan and serve them in a way that helps them in their bhajan. That is the best kind of service. And then in the course of getting close, you may ask also how can I serve you? And if you are already, a relationship has been built, then they will tell, okay, I would like this or that or that. So this is the process of getting close and doing seva to a great Vaishnava. And then when you do seva, automatically, like it is said, you feed somebody enough, what comes out after that? Burp. And those are the confidential instructions. Then these will come. Automatically it will come. If you feed enough, burp will come. So you wait for the burp and you receive it. So those confidential instructions are the burps of these Vaishnavas. So from seva comes these confidential instructions. So anyway, Pandavas are very close to Lord Krishna. They served Lord Krishna. And Lord Krishna begins to tell this confidential reason of this glory of Adhik Mas, of Purushottam month, how it got its name and so on. So this, like we said, back to Adhik Mas, the Brihad Naradiya Purana describes that all the other months, there are all these 12 months, right? I made a list of them. Starts with the Chaitra, the year starts with Chaitra. We have Ram Navami festival in that first month. Then there is Vaishakh, Jesht, Ashadh, Shravan. We have Janmashtami and all, in Shravan month and etc. So every month has certain glories. Second month, Vaishakh, we have Narsingha Chaturdashi. Third month, Jeshtha, we have Nirjal Ekadashi. Then Ashadh, we have Jagannath Rath Yatra. All these nice festivals are there in each month. So one time they were all, sitting together, all the 13 months, including Adhik Mas. And each one was bragging about their glory. And poor Adhik Mas had nothing to say. And on top of that, they were making fun of Adhik Mas. See, you are an extra. I am, we are all such great actors. I am Shah Rukh Khan, I am Amitabh Bachchan, I am this. You are an extra. You have no status, nothing to brag about. You are a nobody. So Adhik Mas became very sad. And then Adhik Mas went to, or Narad Muni was passing by and he saw this plight of Adhik Mas. Very, very sad, she was crying. And so he asked, what is the reason? She said, I have nothing, I am so, useless. I have no purpose, no meaning in my life. So I just want to die. So he said, no, 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 I'll take you to Lord Vishnu. I know him personally, and he will make you happy. So he takes Adhik Maas to Lord Vishnu. And Lord Vishnu says that, this is coming from the Vedas, but I know another person. So I cannot do much, but I know one person who can do something about it, and that is Lord Krishna. Not different than Lord Vishnu, but this is how the pastime goes. So Lord Vishnu takes Adhik Maas all the way to Goloka, where Lord Krishna was having his Ras Leela pastimes. And he takes Adhik Maas there, Adhi Maas, and he introduces her to Lord Shri Krishna, and she was very sad, crying and all that. And then Lord Krishna said, don't worry. From today, you are mine. He is so kind, he could not tolerate the sadness, the crying of Adhik Maas. And he adopted her. And he said, from today onwards, you are mine. All the glories, Kartik month is the most dear to me, but you will be glorified as even more than Kartik month. You are going to be more glorious to all the Vaishnavas than Kartik month. So I give you all my glories. And since the Vedas say that, Adhik Maas has, no much use. But in the Vedas, my name is known as what? From 15th chapter, what do we know? In the Vedas, Lord Krishna is known as Purushottam. She says, I give you my name as I am glorified in the Vedas. So I will make that connection from the Vedas, because in the Vedas it is said it has no use. Now you will be given the topmost name by which I am known in the Vedas, which is Purushottam. So you will be called as Purushottam Maas from now on. So that is how she got the name Purushottam Maas, from Adhik Maas, Mal Maas, Chor Maas to Purushottam Maas. So what a, complete 180-degree change of fortune she had. And she became very, very happy. And Lord Krishna said that this is going to be the most auspicious month once in 3 years. And then he started describing to her the glories of this month, what we should do in this month, what is the significance of this month. And this is part of the Bhagavat Vidhi. Bhagavat Vidhi means meant for the Vaishnavas. What the Vaishnavas should do. So we only care about the Vaishnavas, what Vaishnavas should do. Whatever is the other Vidhi, we don't care. We want to do this, follow Lord Krishna's, understand his significance of this month, and do and follow his instructions in this month. So another point was made is that we must not do as Krishna says, we must not do as Krishna does, but we must do as he says. So this is an important point. He points out, right? We cannot do what Krishna does. You cannot go and steal. You cannot go and, run around with so many girls. You cannot go and try to lift the Govardhan hill. You cannot do all these. You shouldn't do as he does, but you should always do as he says. So we must follow what he says, like the Bhagavad Gita, and like the instructions that are going to come now. Okay? So, this is a verse, and it is is increased or is propelled, is accelerated a lot when we perform good activities of bhakti in this month. Simply by, he's saying, hearing the glories. So the verse goes like, Shrutvapi jayate bhaktya mahapapa kshayo nirnam Kim punah shraddhaya kartum vidhina cha cheti me matihi. So what this verse means, Shrutvapi jayate bhaktya. Just by hearing the glories of Purushottam Mass, Shrutva pi jayate. Jayate means it gives birth. Bhaktya. So those who are not very fixed in Krishna Bhakti, simply by hearing the glories of Purushottam Mass, Shrutvapi jayate bhaktya. Bhakti arises in one's heart. Maha papa kshayo nrinam. And because of hearing the glories of this Purushottam Mass, Maha papa kshayo, all the big sins, that sinful reactions we are carrying on our back, they are destroyed. And which makes it much easier to perform our devotional activities when the sinful reactions are removed. So simply if by hearing the glories, Shrutvapi jayate bhaktya, simply by hearing the glories, like Srimad Bhagavatam, right? Just hearing itself is enough, whether you act on the instructions or not. That is secondary. Not secondary, that comes next. First itself, simply by hearing itself, you are like, it's like saying, you hear to the doctor and you get the prescription, half your disease is gone. It doesn't happen that way. You have to actually eat the medicine for the disease to go, isn't it? Just by hearing, if doctor says you must exercise and diet, imagine just by hearing if your weight goes down. Wouldn't that be nice? You can pay the gym trainer and he will just tell you what to do, and that itself makes you healthy and fit. So in material things it doesn't happen that way, but in spiritual things, just by hearing there is benefit. Kim punah shraddhaya kartum. What to speak if you act on it. So that is the next level. Obviously there is a lot of benefit waiting for us if we actually act on it. How we act on it? Vidhina cha cheti me mati. If we act according to the instructions given, vidhi, according to as the prescription has been given, you act on it. Kim punah shraddhaya kartum. It's like a rhetorical question. What to speak of someone who actually with shraddha, with faith, does as is being told. Okay? So these are very wonderful instructions that we will see that Lord Krishna narrates to the Pandavas, that you do all these things in this Adhik Maas, and you will make a lot of spiritual progress. So what are some of the things? So the first thing that he says is Kirtanam, is to chant the name, the holy name of the Lord very, very nicely. So if you're all, increase whatever you're doing. That is the meaning of Adhik. Adhik means do something more, something that you have not been doing, isn't it? Like we said, all year round on Saturday, Sunday, people enjoy, right? It's a mini vacation. But would you say when they take a 2-week vacation, is it the same as the weekend? Is it more or is it less? More. There is more enjoyment, more, everything is more, right? Everything is multiplied. On the weekend, you may go like, to some Oregon local state park. But when you go to vacation, you go to Yellowstone. So, it's a magnified version of the weekend. So, in the same way, whatever seva, whatever service we are doing, first of all, whatever kirtan we are doing in our daily course of time, we should increase from there to whatever it is. That is the meaning of Adhik. So do increased quantity, like we all want increased benefit, when you, like I was saying, everybody wants extra benefit, some more, okay, 5% discount is not good, I want 10%. So everybody wants more. So in the same way, devotees should do more in this month. The second thing, and very, very important, is to recite the Purushottam Yoga chapter in the Bhagavad Gita, which is which chapter? 15th chapter. It's a very short chapter, very sweet chapter, and contains the entire essence of Bhagavad Gita in one chapter. So it's a whole summary of the Bhagavad Gita, and we should try to recite that. It will take hardly 5 minutes to recite the whole chapter, 15th chapter. Every day, recite it with meaning. Make sure that you understand the meaning of what is being recited. So that is another activity. And that is why Purushottam Mass, that coincides with the name. Purushottam Yoga is the name of the chapter, and Purushottam Mass we should recite. And in that 15th chapter, one of the main points or purposes of 15th chapter in Bhagavad Gita is to establish that the teachings of Bhagavad Gita are no different than the teachings of the Vedas. And also the conclusion of the Vedas is no different than the conclusion of Bhagavad Gita, which is to understand who is Krishna. So that is the 19th verse is one of the sweetest verses of the 15th chapter. So let us try and recite that, if you can pull it up on your phones. 15th chapter, 19th verse. Yo mam evam asammudho janati purushottamam sa sarvavid bhajati mam sarva bhavena bharata. So what does it mean? Yo mam evam asammudho janati purushottamam. One who knows me. And before this verse, the 18th verse said that I am known as the Purushottama in all the Vedas. Okay? The Purushottama is the celebrated personality of the Vedas. Yo mam evam asammudho janati purushottam. Yo mam, one who knows me, janati, who knows, jana means to know, janati asammudho, without any shred of doubt, that Purushottamam or that Purushottam of the Vedas, mam, is no different than me. We are one and the same. Or it is the same entity that whoever is being referred to in the Vedas is no different than who I am. I am being referred in the Vedas. Vedaishcha sarvair aham eva vedyo. From all the Vedas, I am aham to be known. That is 15th verse. So summary of that itself is just being shown here or told here. Yo mam evam asammudho. Without any doubt, one who knows me to be that same Purushottama of the Vedas. What does he do upon knowing this? Sa sarvavid. On knowing this, sarvavid, bhajati mam. He does my bhajan. With what bhava? Sarva bhavena bharata. With full heart, with full bhava, he does my bhajan. So that is the conclusion of the 15th chapter, that to know that whoever is the topmost celebrated personality of the Vedas is none other than me. Upon knowing this, one should, with all his heart, with full bhava, one should do my bhajan. Sa sarvavid bhajati mam. One should do my bhajan, mam. Sarva bhavena. With full bhava. Bharata means my dear Arjuna, descendant of Bharat. So that is the conclusion of the 15th chapter. So that's why we should recite the 15th chapter and do kirtan of the 15th chapter in this month. So this is a very sweet verse from the 15th chapter. There are many, all verses are very sweet from 15th chapter. So this one is kind of summarizing the whole instruction of the 15th chapter. Then what else can we do? So this is the best month, like we said, for Hari Bhajan. So what are the various things that are recommended, specific things that are recommended? Another thing that is recommended by our acharyas, they have given a list of at least 12, 13 things that should be done. Now there are many things which I am not going to mention about, what kind of things to eat, those are secondary principles. What food stuff to avoid and all that, and I'm going to focus on the Vaishnava Vidhi. So the first one is Kirtanam. Increase some increase in our Kirtan, whether it is quantity or quality. Focus should be on quality. Now somebody is already doing whatever quantity they are doing with good quality. So, one can ask, okay, there's not much scope to increase quality. Okay, then increase quantity with no loss of quality. So otherwise, if you are doing Some quantity but no quality, or less quality, increase quality. Second is reciting the 15th chapter. Whatever is practical, you don't have to do and of all these. It's not like a logical and gate. This and this and this and this. It's a or. Or it's like not even or, it's like whatever is practical, any subset of this. And you can rotate also. Someday you do some aspects, someday you do some. Okay? Of course, kirtana should be done every day, so one should not. So some of the things one can do. Another thing, so there are 3 things for reciting, specific things. One is 15th chapter. Another thing is reciting Jagannath Ashtakam. So it's a very, very sweet prayer, glorifying Lord Jagannath, especially the Rath Yatra of Lord Jagannath is being glorified in that. So reciting Jagannath Ashtakam is very sweet during this month. Also takes 5 minutes or less. Then another one, which will take a little bit more time, is recommended to recite the Brahmastuti. Brahmastuti is 14th chapter of the 10th canto. So this occurs after Brahmaji realizes his mistake, after he stole the calves and the cowherd boys, to test the supremacy of Lord Krishna. And he gets a severe shock how beautifully Lord Krishna passes his test, so to say. Not like he had to pass the test, but he, passes it and sort of not only passes the test, becomes the teacher as well of the student who was trying to, test. So then Brahmaji gives a very beautiful, some of these verses are very celebrated. The 8th verse, the 58th verse, and very celebrated verses glorifying the position of Lord Shri Krishna. So the 14th chapter, Brahmastuti, should be also recited. Then every day one should make an attempt to hear Srimad Bhagavatam. Just some way, somehow or the other, some portion of Srimad Bhagavatam, try to hear that. In this month also, now are some of the, so these are some of the sort of the hearing and Shravan and Kirtan aspects. Now some of the other aspects of doing, or more sort of where you have to use your karmendriyas. So one of them is to visit holy places. So try to visit a holy place. And it doesn't mean you have to take a plane ticket, to India or Vrindavan. If you can do that, that is very nice. But this temple, for example, is a very holy place. So make sure to visit the temple. Don't miss, a chance whenever there is a program. Even if there is no program, try to visit the temple. Try to circumambulate the deities of the temple. That's why we have 2 doors here. So when this temple was purchased, one of the reasons this was originally a church, and the altar of the church was here actually, over here. So it would have been very difficult to do circumambulation, if you think, given we didn't change the doors. Then you have to do it from outside, and then there was a playground here and all that stuff. So you had to pretty much walk around the whole building. It would have been like that. And in Oregon, it rains and this and that. So we thought we'll put it here, and with these 2 doors being present, this could provide an easy way to do circumambulation of the deities without kind of, subjecting yourself to the weather. So that was one of the reasons. Of course, there were other reasons, some practical reasons, vastu reasons, the facing, whatever, but that was one of the considerations. So you can come and circumambulate the deities here, visiting the holy places. Then another thing is to do Vaishnava Seva. How all we can do Vaishnava Seva? What are the various ways of doing Vaishnava Seva? Yes, offering them prasad, feeding prasad to the Vaishnavas. So feeding the Vaishnavas. So again, you don't have to find out the topmost Vaishnava, and you may not find one in Portland or something. But Vaishnavas, whether even if they are, not the topmost, Bhunkte bhojayate chaiva. So offering, feeding, prasad, and if somebody offers you prasad, you also accept it. So, that give and take of prasad to the Vaishnavas. And giving donation to the Vaishnavas is another way of serving the Vaishnavas. And avoiding Vaishnava aparadh is also a service to the Vaishnavas. So, at our level, we may think that not doing aparadh, how is it a seva? But from our level, like sometimes, in my company, there are some bad managers. So, and they take pride in being a bad manager. So whenever I go, I just, mess things up. So I'm going to stay out of your way, they say. That's their service. Staying out of the way is their contribution. So in the same way, if we are like that, we are all like, I'm like that, committing Vaishnava aparadh. So not committing Vaishnava aparadh itself is a service. That is speaks to our fallen situation. That not causing harm to someone is my contribution. Right? So that can also be considered as seva. The Lord is so kind, He's adding that as an element of seva. Okay, you don't have to actually do something, just stop doing harm. Do no harm. So that is very nice as well. Then some other things are like offering a ghee lamp to Lord Krishna every day. So many of us may be doing that, but especially if you are not doing, in this month, offer a ghee lamp to Lord Sri Krishna. And offer some tulsi leaves. If you are offering bhoga, better to offer. And finally, distribute some shastra. The 15th chapter, that is distributing Shastra. And read the 15th chapter with them, read the meanings. Maybe they'll have a question. Oh, why is it this like this? Why is it like that? And you can answer that question. That is distribution of Shastra. That's more active distribution of Shastra than giving a book. Maybe they'll take the book and put it in the shelf. Maybe they will read it. But like this, if they ask a question and you generate or arouse their curiosity, that's very nice way of distributing Shastra. So distributing of Shastra is another very nice way of making good use of this month, Purushottam Mass. Yeah. Finally, the last one is to reduce our sense gratification. Take some vow, some small way of reducing our sense gratification. It is said that if you are, one should eat, usually we eat 3 meals a day, isn't it? So in this month, eat 2 meals a day. Or even if you are eating 3 meals, if you are eating 4 items, I eat 8 items, so maybe I can go down to 7. If you are eating 4, then you can go down to 3. So like this, try to reduce whatever you are eating. That is one thing that is very close to everybody's heart, eating. Everybody likes to eat. I like it. But whatever you are, maybe these days, on being on the phone, delete the Facebook app for 1 month. Stay without Instagram app or Facebook app. Whatever you can call as some kind of giving up of sense gratification or some kind of austerity. Try and do that. That simply to please Lord Krishna. Because this is His instruction. Because like we said, hearing this itself is beneficial. What to speak if you actually act on it? So act on it for no other reason. Don't do mathematical analysis. Oh, very nice. My psychology teacher also said, give up Facebook. Krishna matches. No, that is not the reason. Yes, there may be material benefit of, stopping the social media addiction. But for Vaishnavas, that is not the reason. The reason is because Krishna will be pleased, so I will give it up. Whatever pleases Krishna, I am willing to do. If Krishna in some alternate universe said install all the social media apps, I would happily do that. He has not said that. But if he were to say that, so the point is, just like Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna said, kill the enemy. And he happily did it. Karishye vachanam tava. So just doing what Krishna instructs us to do pleases Krishna. Not, if you see the ending of the 12th chapter, the last 8 verses of 12th chapter are very similar to the contents of the previous chapters. One should be samah sarva bhuteshu and look at everything equally. But now the consciousness is completely changed. Lord Krishna says at the end of 12th chapter, or end of every verse of the 12th chapter in this section, that do it and then I will be pleased. Same bhaktaha mamaha priyaha. That this kind of devotee is very dear to me, and therefore one should do it only to please Krishna, forgetting about the merits and demerits of the action. So doing or reducing our sense gratification, reducing our ahankar, reducing our feeling of I and mine, me and mine, mam and aham in this month is very, very beneficial. So, I guess I will stop there. So just to quickly summarize, we started off by discussing the benefits of, or not, that's how we ended. We started off by describing the sort of the origin of this month, how from the Smarta Vidhi it is the most useless month, but from the Vaishnava or the Bhagavat Vidhi it is the most auspicious month. And for Vaishnavas we must do something extra. It is like a vacation period. Whatever we have been doing throughout our daily, throughout the year, throughout the months and weeks, we should do something extra in this month. We discussed also that how this month gets introduced from the astronomical standpoint, because we follow the lunar calendar, and our rasika or our relishable standpoint, how Lord Krishna needs more time to catch up. So because he walks slowly and kind of gets lost, he needs some time to catch up with the others. So then we discussed how the other months are having all these glorious things in them, but Adhik Mas or Purushottam Mas has nothing. So then Lord Krishna gave Adhik Mas his name. He said this month will be known as Purushottam Mas from now onwards. So in this way, he glorified Purushottam Mas. And then we discussed some of the auspicious things, some of the things that will benefit our bhakti through this. By doing these activities, our bhakti will increase. Simply by hearing, it will increase. But even by doing, it will increase even more. So that was and what were some of the activities to recite, to enumerate them quickly? Doing our kirtana, our japa very nicely, increasing the quality, if possible quantity, reciting the 15th chapter of Bhagavad Gita with meaning, the Jagannath Ashtakam and the Brahma Stuti. You can rotate these if, or Brahma Stuti is long, maybe you can do it on a weekend or something like that. And then hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, doing Vaishnava Seva, Sadhu Seva, in various ways, by feeding, offering prasad to the sadhus, giving some donation to the sadhus, avoiding doing any harm to the sadhus, Vaishnava Paradha, avoiding is also seva. And then to offer ghee lamp to Krishna, offer some tulsi leaves to Krishna, distribute Krishna Katha, distribute Shastra, distribute Katha to others, and finally to reduce our sense gratification. So that's a summary of what we discussed. Any questions or comments? Okay, so we will end here. Aarti is starting right on time. Thank you so much for your kind audience. श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। श्री श्री निताई सच्चिनंदन देव भगवान की जय। हरे कृष्ण।
नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी इति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादे पश्चात्तारिणे। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौरा भक्तवृंद। श्री कृष्ण श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौरा भक्तवृंद। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौरा भक्तवृंद। Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Hare Rama. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Hare Rama. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nitya Sachinandana, Nitya Sachinandana, Nitya Sachinandana, Gaura Hare. Nitya Sachinandana, Nitya Sachinandana, Nitya Sachinandana, Gaura Hare. Nitya Sachinandana. Gaura, Gaura, Gaura Hare, Gaura, Gaura, Gaura Hare. Gaura, Gaura, Gaura Hare, Gaura, Gaura, Gaura Hare. Nadiya Bihari Gaura Hare, Nadiya Bihari Gaura Hare. Vishnu Priya Pranadhana Gaura Hare, Vishnu Priya Pranadhana Gaura Hare. Sachi Mata Pranadhana Gaura Hare, Sachi Mata Pranadhana Gaura Hare. Jaya Gaura Nitai, Jaya Gaura Nitai, Gaura Nitai, Jaya Gaura Nitai. Jaya Gaura Nitai, Jaya Gaura Nitai, Gaura Nitai, Jaya Gaura Nitai. Jaya Krishna Balaram, Jaya Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Jaya Krishna Balaram. Jaya Krishna Balaram, Jaya Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Jaya Vrindavana Dham. Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Gurudev, 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 Gurudev. Haribol, 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 Haribol. जय ओम, जय ओम विष्णु से परिवाचा, जय श्री भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की। जय ओम विष्णु से परिवाचा, जय भक्ति सिद्धांत ठाकुर प्रभुपाद की। गौर किशोर बाबा जी महाराज की। नमाच धदश ठाकुर की। श्री वृंदावन धाम की, नवत विधाम की, चैतन्य महाप्रभु की, हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र की, जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की, जगन्नाथ पद सुभद्रा माई की, गौर प्रेमानंदे। All glories, all glories, all glories, all glories. Shri Guru Garanga Srila Prabhupada ki.
Want harmonium? Unless you have 4 hands, you need a mic stand, right?
Namaste Narasimhaya. Praladadaine. Hiranyakashi Purvakshaha. Shilatanka nakhalaye. Ito Narsimha Parato Narsimha. Yato yato yami tato Narsimha. Bahe Narsimha Hridaye Narsimha. Narasimha Madim Sharanam Prapade. Narasimha Madim Sharanam Prapade. Tavakara Kamala Vare Natha Madhuta Shingam Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanu Bengam Keshavadita Narahari Rupa Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Vakara Kamala Vare Natha Madhuta Shringa Keshavadita Narahari Rupa Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare O Keshavadita Narahari Rupa Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Keshavadita Narahari Rupa Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jagadisha Hare O Keshavadita Narahari Rupa Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare, Jaya Jagadisha Hare, Keshavadisha, Jaya Jagadisha Hare, Jaya Jagadisha Hare, Jaya Narsimhadev, 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 Jaya Narsimhadev. Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Srila Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Srila Gurudev. विघ्नविनाशक श्री लक्ष्मी नरसिंहदेव भगवान की, भक्त श्रोमणी श्री प्रहलाद महाराज की, श्री श्री निताय सच्चिनंदन देव भगवान की, जगत गुरु श्री प्रभुपाद की, टैगोर प्रेमानंदी।
Maybe that way. You want to leave it here? We can't see the clock. Okay. It's connecting. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna.